I am gonna throw my words of wisdom out there on what happened yesterday. So, as we know, you wish to join, or is you busy sewing?
I'm busy sewing, but I always have a moment.
Okay, here she comes. Yes, Beauty and the Beast.
The Beauty hasn't done her hair this morning or makeup and stuff.
I just wake up purdy.
Oh wait. I don't do makeup.
I do. Anyway, let's first of all, Israel has the right to exist. If you can't understand that, you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. Terrorism needs to stop. If you can't understand that, this is not the video for you. October 7th was the most brutal and grotesque thing I ever heard of in my life. All right. Now, after saying that, I don't believe America should have a horse in this race, but that's beside the point. Okay, so what happened was the Arabs, as you would call them, Islam, they're children. Okay, they're just children. All right, Hezbollah, or Hamas rather, they attacked on October 7th, and it was the most disgusting thing in the world. Look, there's no difference between Jews and Arabs. You've all lived there forever, okay? It's just in a religious thing. In my humble opinion, I mean, it's not, you guys you believe all these stupid catchphrases, European settlers. That's not true, okay? It's just not. All right. I mean, it goes, anyway, but let's get to the point. So Israel attacked Hamas, right? Now then Hezbollah and all the other children in the, oh no, I'm on his side. So then they start lobbing missiles in there. So when it came to Hezbollah, the Jews adopted a more precise tactic. They decided to go after leadership. Okay, and they were really, really successful at it. So now the Ayatollah Khomeini, the biggest child in the world, right, likes to put women in burqas and such, and they cannot attack Israel. There's just too many countries between the two of them. They don't have the capability of doing it. So what do? They reacted by lobbing a whole bunch of missiles. Okay, where'd they get the money for those missiles? Well, Joe Biden. He stopped drilling oil in the United States and started buying oil from a terrorist organization. They use that money for missiles and financing terrorism against the Jews. Because without terrorism, these states have nothing to offer. So anyway, they lobbed I don't know. Some people say as high as 400, which I really, really doubt, to maybe about 180, 160. That's probably more of a realistic number, somewhere around, let's give them 180. Okay, so they launched these missiles. Now, as far as this is the second batch. They also did it in April. The U.S. retaliated, the Iron Dome. So you got to figure they did 160, maybe 25% of those got through the Iron Dome, right? They really didn't do much damage that I can tell, okay? So that saved their lives, and it was probably by design that this happened, that they didn't really kill a whole bunch of people, because if they did, Israel would have been launching aircraft that night, and they didn't. Okay, so more than likely what's going to happen here as a response to all this nonsense, okay, look, the Jews and the Arabs both pray to the same God, okay? 6,000, 10,000 years ago, God is God, right? 600 years ago, Islam stepped in, right?
There's only one God.
There's only one God. They all worship the same God, as misguided as they are. Islam is a newer religion. It's only about 600 years old, okay? You can argue, just get a dictionary and look up Muhammad. All right? It doesn't matter. So, judging by what happened, I think one of two things is going to happen with Israel. First of all, beyond a shadow of a doubt, they're still going into Lebanon to clean up Hezbollah, and no one cares. All right. But I believe that one or two things. It's going to be a target of opportunity. Israel's either going to take the Ayatollah out and hope for better leadership, because we all know that Israel likes to target leaders. Okay. That would be their best bet. And their second best bet would be to go after their nuclear program. So one of those two things is going to happen as soon as the United States gets its aircraft carriers back into the game, so to speak. And yeah, this all goes back to being the U.S. needs to be energy independent. And the reason for that is because when you buy oil from terrorists, you're throwing money into their economy and they use it for terrorism. Look, we have terrorists right here in the United States. They have imported them, they have flown them in. Here, tell they have an app on the phone. You can apply for whatever. You show up at the border and they just let you free. This administration has caused this problem.
Let me tell you,
Yes.
the Muslim religion is single-handedly purpose. Its single-minded purpose is to take over the world.
Yep.
That is what they want. And unlike Christians, that we are supposed to share the gospel with everybody and Christianize the entire world by peaceful means, they are not have no qualms about using violence to promote the religion. Now, here's this they have no problem with that. Okay, you will. Yeah, but look, I did want to mention this because I saw this yesterday. Mark Driscoll was talking about all these attacks on Israel. Every single one of those dispensationalists, and you know who you are, they think that because when Israel starts being whatever, there's some signal triggering, yada, 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 and that means that Jesus Christ is coming back again for the fourth time.
It's just not in the Bible, okay? It's just not there.
It's not. The second coming is not in Scripture, not the way you think you'll be misled.
Yeah.
And if you ever want to talk about it, ask your questions and we'll go get into it. But here's the point that I was trying to make about it.
They were matching.
Yeah, look a figure. It's like we lived together and stuff.
Oh, maybe.
Anyways, so they keep saying that, they keep telling you, friend, Christian, that this means all these attacks in Israel, that means that Jesus is coming soon. Now, whether we could sit here and we could walk you through why you're wrong about that, but that is irrelevant right now. Whether or not Jesus was coming back today or you're dying today, whichever one it is, because nobody knows the time of their death. Okay,
that's true.
It doesn't matter.
If I did, I would die broke. I wouldn't have a penny left in the bank.
It matters not. You know what matters is that you are living to your life according to the commandments of Jesus. Do not be a servant that is found sleeping, drunk, and beating up your neighbor, your friends, and stuff. But here's the whole thing. The hope that they have when Jesus comes back is because Israel is going to be utterly destroyed, and millions of people are going to die in that. You honestly think that that's what God is going to come back to do like that? Okay? No. And if you're okay with that, you really need to check yourself. I'm just saying.
It's there's a story, right? It was during the Battle of Gettysburg. We all know about this. I named one of my children after Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain. But Chamberlain's sitting up on the hill, and this young private was talking to him, and he goes, I don't quite understand, Colonel. He says, we believe in God, and we believe God is on our side. And he says, but the rebels, they believe in God, and they believe God is on their side. Whose side is God going to be on in the morning? And Chamberlain said, you listen to me, son. He says, this is a man-made problem. He goes, God is not taking part in this. Just like God is not taking part in what's happening in Israel. If you want to solve these problems, the answer is perfectly clear in the Middle East. The U.S. has to be energy independent. All right. Joe Biden effed up in the biggest way possible. He has, his policies are like 30 years old. What worked 30 years ago doesn't work now. But we gave them all that money, all those missiles that were lobbed at Israel. That was your tax dollars at work. Okay. And my wife is correct in a bunch of ways. Okay. This is a clear choice. And I know people, I'm so tired of everybody saying, this is America. That can't happen here. We had a freaking coup. Not one person, not one human being, and I'm not counting politicians as human beings, right? They anointed Kamala Harris. She was not voted for. 4 years ago, she got 1% of the vote. She was anointed. No one elected her. We have no idea who's running this country right now. And you morons are just jumping in this boat, going along with it. Yes, Christian women are regular. American women for the burqa. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. This is a clear choice. Because if this shit in the Middle East comes to America, which it's going to, look at our college campuses. All right? They're going to have American women in the burqa. You guys are going to push feminism to the point, right, where you're in a burqa. And don't tell me it can't happen here in the United States because we had a coup and no one cared.
The thing about it, I think one of the problems that we have is it's in our human nature. Okay, we want things for free. One of the reasons the hyper charismatic movement, the name it and claim it and then God gives it to you, is so popular. Okay,
Yeah.
it's because people want things, wealth, money, and all this stuff for nothing. Okay, they want to be taken care of financially and have a blessed life and not worry about financial stuff. Okay, without understanding that you have to work for everything.
Yeah.
Okay, hard work sometimes, that most of the time, gives you its own reward. Sometimes it doesn't, it just happens. But here, this is why the Marxism, communism, socialism, all the isms sound really
Freebies.
good. Really good. Oh, I'll have health insurance. I'll
Yeah.
have the ability to pay my rent all the time. Yada yada yada. Without realizing that within that is that you're losing the ability to make your own free choices. And in the end, you are going to be the drone that works
Yeah.
to sustain the upper class, which is what we are now, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay?
There is no middle class. I am sick and tired of people saying the middle class, the middle class. It's an imaginary concept anymore. There are those that have and those that are working their butts off trying to have.
So if you are of the lazy kind, that you're thinking, if I elect Kamala Harris,
yeah, she's gonna give me freebies.
She's gonna give me all these freebies. When things turned out terribly in your life and you can't pay rent, you literally cannot pay rent, you literally cannot buy groceries, you literally cannot do anything, you cannot express your own personal opinion, you will remember that this is something you got yourself into.
Right.
Because you were lazy.
But yeah, I mean, it's just it's point and clear. But yeah, I mean, literally, those are your two options that I believe Israel is going to do. Okay, now for all you young kids out there that are pushing Kamala Harris in the land of fairy tales and unicorns, okay, she's going to have you women in a burqa, and she's going to have your men broke and neutered. All right, I mean, the sheer lack. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity, people. You're either a man or you are not a man. All right. What kind of a woman wants a sissy man? I don't get that.
I like the term, like the green flags and red flags, right? There's not toxic masculinity.
Red flag.
It's red flags.
Oh, yeah,
okay. Yeah. If a man does X, Y, and Z, it's a little bit sus, and maybe you don't want to be involved with that guy. If he tries to take you away from your family, tries to keep you to himself all the time. He has a volatile mood where one day you're afraid for your own safety. That sort of thing is
Yeah.
a red flag. It's
Look.
not toxic. Now, men have a temper in general, okay? But it should never be aimed at you,
No.
okay? You should never feel like you're in danger or anything like that. That's a different thing. But being a dude that likes guns and knives and he likes shoot 'em up movies, there's nothing wrong with that. Or what you want your man to be,
I don't need a plot. I just need gratuitous violence.
you want your men to be uh, manly and protective of you and your family, and that's and be aim any anger out to the people that would try to harm you
Yeah.
and your family. That does not mean he's
But
toxic. It just means he's a man that loves his family.
but it's when we gave up the schools and our churches became weak. All right. I can't tell you how many times I've heard my preachers and my elders tell me, "Oh no, the day I speak politics from the pulpit," because you're a coward. All right. There is good and evil in this world. All right. And we have weak men in churches. We have weak men in society. All right. This is ridiculous. It's the church needs to take a stance. We have convinced, when we gave the schools up, we have convinced people of a certain way of life, and these people can't think beyond it. Right now, freedom of speech is under attack, and if you don't believe me, look at California. Any meme that's conservative gets censored in California because Gavin Newsom says it's hate speech. Freedom of speech is the most important thing in the country. If the truth or if a discussion on a topic offends you, you are the problem. All right. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys what is going to happen over there in Israel. Within the next few days, as soon as America gets its fleet back over there, because our president pulled them out, right? We only have one aircraft carrier, and we have the USS Wasp, which is a troop transport. Couple of destroyers, right? And we're having a problem with a supply ship. It's hard to get the aircraft fuel to the aircraft carrier over there by Yemen, right? But yeah, I believe that that's more than likely Netanyahu's next move. If the opportunity arises, he will take out the Ayatollah. If not, they're going to bomb the nuclear capability of Iran. Either one is a good thing, in my opinion. But the whole thing here is, I'm telling everybody, I mean, it's like you couldn't see that coup coming. I saw it. This guy was found by a prosecutor to be unfit to stand trial, mentally deficient. He could not stand trial. Yet you expect me to believe he's still the president of the United States? We had a freaking coup, people. All right? I don't care what you call it. That's what it was. You know, it's, but yeah, God bless everybody. But be prepared. And look, all you protesters out there, this is just like the Vietnam War. I saw an interview with Richard Nixon one time, and he named Jane Fonda and one other lady by names. And he says those two women, they prolonged the Vietnam War by 2 years because they caused so much confusion, it made it virtually impossible for the U.S. to get out. All right. And now you people over here protesting, you're prolonging the war in Israel. You're prolonging the suffering because you're giving them the illusion that they have American support. They're hoping for American support, which they will never get.
Yeah.
All right. All your protesting is doing is causing more people to die. All right. You can like it or not. And all your anti-God protesting is the nothing says I want to wear a burqa more than going away from God.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys don't understand how revolutionary Jesus Christ's message is.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. We made women equal to men.
Yeah. And here's another thing for you, right? I've seen this guy. He's a bona fide confirmed atheist. He says, I want to live in a Christian country. I don't want to live in an Islamic country because Christian countries have a good rule of law.
Yep, Richard Dr.
All right.
Dawkins.
But anyway, this mess in the Middle East, just keep protesting and keep the suffering going.
Yeah.
All right. God bless
God bless.
everybody.
Bye.